Hello, and thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to spend with me. Welcome to another discussion. I thank you and I appreciate your time, and I hope that you find today's conversation helpful. I'm looking forward to hearing and reading what you have to say, as well as learning from you. You know, when we share our opinions and our thoughts, experiences, we're able to grow together, and it helps us heal and move along faster than we would if we were doing this alone. So thank you so much for your time. Today I want to talk about the evil that is amongst us, and that evil, yes, is narcissists. In order to set this discussion in perspective, I want to draw your attention to Titus 1 verses 15 to 16. And it says, "Unto the pure all things are pure. But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, but even their mind and conscience is defiled." That's Titus 1, 15 through 16. You know, if you've ever experienced, or if you've had any experience with a narcissist, then you know that evil is real. You are fully aware that this world has evil people. And it's also true, and we cannot diminish the fact that there are good people in the world. Now, when Satan was cast out of heaven, he was cast out with 1/3 of the angels. And so those are his minions that he roams this earth with. That means it's only a portion of what is good on earth. It's 1/3. There are still some good people. However, to the pure, all things are pure. You see people the way that you are. And this can be the downfall of so many people. You see them through the lens of your experience, the lens of your heart, the lens of how you want the world to see you. Not their intention, not their spirits, not who they truly are. And this is why the Bible warns us, and it tells us in 1 John chapter 4, verse 1, that we should test the spirit by the spirit. We need to know where the spirit comes from, because there are many false prophets that have gone out into the world. I'm paraphrasing. And this is really talking about your ability to obtain a perception or a judgment of a person. It's about you having discernment. Your discernment is important. You know, there's so many videos and there's so much discussion around the topic of boundaries. Boundaries are a necessity. Hear me clearly. Your boundaries are important. But when you are dealing with a narcissist, psychopath, sociopath, your boundaries mean absolutely nothing. Nothing. Because they have a demonic agenda, they respect nothing. And because of how they come and ravish your mind, your emotions, your will, in essence, your soul, it weakens you in your own ability to respect your own boundaries. Your boundaries will always and forever be to protect and preserve the person that you currently are, as well as the person that you are becoming. That is what your boundaries are for. Your boundaries are for your protection and your preservation. And this is in relationships with healthy, normal, functioning people. But when it comes to narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths, the evil that is amongst us, it is essential that we know how to discern these spirits. Because if we're able to discern these spirits effectively from the get-go, we know what to allow and disallow in our lives. We know what to plant and what to uproot. We know that when we go into prayer, what are we binding and what are we loosing? Because never forget, your words are powerful. Your God is mighty. You know, your discernment is essentially your inner voice. It is the Spirit of God speaking to you, and it's up to us to develop our relationship with God so that we can hear Him and be confident that it is His voice that we hear. John 10:27 says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me." There is no time to be misled and taken down the wrong road. Like, listen, first of all, who has time to waste time? Like, we are running out of time. If we look at the world in general, there's so much conversation going on around how it's the end of time. Well, it's been the end of time since the beginning of time. And that's because we all have our own personal clock. Nobody knows the time or the day or the hour. Don't quote me on that scripture, but nobody knows their time. That means you must live your life full out. You are not here to be the doormat to an empty shell. You are not here to be misused, abused, and taken for granted and advantage of by a raggedy, dusty narcissist, by a belly-crawling swamp creature, when you have been given the power and the authority to tread upon serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt or harm you. No. The problem is we look at people through the lens of how we view ourselves: trustworthy, dependable, honest, with good intentions. However, there is evil amongst us, and not everybody is like you. Remember that evil is not gender-based. Society will say men are evil, but let's not forget the female narcissist. Single parents, I want to talk to you for a minute. Please find positive role models for your children to look up to. Girls need to see not just respectable men in their lives, but respectable women too. Likewise, boys need to see respectable men and women in their lives, and they need to see positive, healthy relationships so that they know or how to mold their relationships in the future. We are teaching our children. They're watching not necessarily our words, but our actions. Remember, they say actions speak louder than words. And what's more important than these actions are the patterns that we establish. We need to help our children to be able to identify toxic and not just negative friends, or not just toxic, partners, but friends too, because all of this can affect their lives. We must therefore heal and be whole so that we can raise our children from that place, from that position. And I want to commend you for having the courage to be concerned about your healing. And how do I know that you're concerned? Because you show up. You watch videos, you read, you contribute in the comments, and you share and you ask questions. You pray, you cry out for help. Continue to do those things. God hears your prayers. I want you to know that He does not slumber, neither does He sleep. He is so concerned about you, and He loves you so much. Like, listen, He numbered the hairs on your head. When you brushed your hair this morning, when you combed your hair this morning, and there was some hair in the comb or the brush, He knew exactly what number hairs those were. I'm not saying that He knew the number of hairs in the brush, but He knew that hair follicle that came out was 100,000 and whatever. That's how much He knows you. You are important to God. And if you are important to the Most High God, that says a lot about who you are and how valuable you are. Proverbs 22:6 tells us to train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. We have a responsibility to set a standard for our children, to educate them beyond traditional education, but to set healthy patterns for them. We live in a narcissistic society, There's communal narcissism also, and all of this works against the will of God. And they will, you get bombarded at every turn with what is geared to keep you away from God. That is the ultimate goal of this evil. The ultimate goal. We encounter these people in the legal system, medical field, grocery store. We encounter them at the gym, in the church. They are everywhere. Our children face them, not just in the family unit, but at school. Talk to your children. Talk to them about their friends and the characteristics that their friends display. Talk to them about their teachers and how they talk to them. Teach them what the signs are. What is a healthy relationship? Keep it age appropriate, but have the conversation. It is important, and it starts with us. We have to let our children know. Educate them. Let them know that evil is amongst us. You don't have to scare them, but let them be aware so that they can dodge these bullets. And later in their lives, they will not seek an answer on YouTube like we had to do. It might not be YouTube, but whatever platform. They just won't need that. There is joy, peace, and liberty in being rich in the gift of discernment. Wasted time is worse than wasted money. Your time is the most valuable resource, and you cannot generate time. Otherwise, people would extend their lives, and this is something that we cannot do. No, super empath. Everyone is not like you. Teach this to your children. Teach them that not everyone is like them, as well as the fact that not everyone is a narcissist, that they can discern who is for them and who is against them. Teach them how to gird up their loins and how to let their light shine and be bright according to 1 Peter 5:8. Teach them. You might not have all the answers, and that's okay. Go to God about this, but you can also learn together with your children because maybe you weren't taught. But that doesn't absolve the responsibility that you have as a parent. Learn together. As you take charge of your life, consider the importance of your discernment. I'm not canceling boundaries. I never will do that. But it's important that you discern these narcissists so that when your spirit man is telling you this person is a no, stay away, you honor that. That's where your boundary comes into place, because you're able to discern that this spirit is not for me, and this now, because you're now a healthy, fully integrated person, you respect your own boundary and say, I'm not going to associate with this. I'm going to cut this tie. The onus when it comes to boundaries is really always on us. We must respect our boundaries. Nobody else has to. That's why your discernment is so important, so that you can identify these people quickly. Pray about all things and trust and believe that if God is for you, who can be against you? I thank you so very much for your time. I hope that this video helps and that you were able to take some points away from this. So until the next video, God bless you and be good to yourself.